Mickey's Nutcracker is a Disney televised special that I believe was filmed at Disneyland, and this was released in 1992. And I have to say, it's rather delightful. It's some places it's a little bit weird. For example, Tigger is in the opening scene, which feels a bit out of place. He didn't really fit in. But most of the other characters that feature are characters that I would expect to be there. And we have some various other live action characters as well. So this basically does follow the classic story of the Nutcracker. I'm not the biggest fan of the Nutcracker. I don't dislike it, but I'm not one of those people who loves it and finds, watches it or a version of it every year. So if you are a big fan of the Nutcracker, you may feel very differently about this, and I would, of course, love to know what you think of it and kind of where your opinions are coming from. But it starts off with Minnie throwing this, she's hosting a ball, and there are a mix of human guests and dressed up humans as Disney characters. Some of them I expect, for example, Chip and Dale. Roger Rabbit was there, which I was not surprising. Roger Rabbit looks terrifying in this form. Really, really terrifying. And everything is going very well. The evening ends, the guests leave, and Minnie has received a nutcracker that looks like Mickey Mouse. And through the great power of magic, this nutcracker magically turns to life. And there we have Mickey Mouse joining Minnie on stage. And after that point, it kind of follows the Nutcracker relatively well, pretty well. We have the Rat King, and it's really interesting to see how they've designed the rats when Minnie and Mickey are mice, and there's a stark contrast. And it works very well. I have to say, I think the costumes were really appealing. They did look very effective, particularly the Rat King. And the choreography was not too bad either, especially the tap dancing. The songs themselves were not that engaging. I didn't find them that addictive or really that delightful. They weren't bad, but they definitely weren't what I hoped for. The acting is quite good. I have absolutely no issues with that. That's both in terms of the human characters and those who are currently acting as the popular Disney characters. So I found it to be pleasant, fuzzy, warm, enjoyable. It televised in 1992. One source said it was filmed the year before, so if anybody can confirm that, please feel free. And it's definitely something I would have loved as a child. I would have really enjoyed it growing up. For me now as an adult, it's fun, it's fuzzy, it kind of has a panto feel to it. Not quite, not exactly, but it does definitely have that kind of feel compared to, say, some interpretations of the Nutcracker, which were a lot more elegant and almost highbrow. The stories are not as easy to follow, whereas this one, obviously, this is aimed at younger children. The narrative is very clear and very easily laid out. I enjoyed it well enough as a Disney fan. I probably won't watch it again. As a child, I would have loved it. I don't remember seeing it. I have no recollection of having seen it, so I'm just going to assume that this is the first time I saw it, and I'm glad I've seen it. If you like Disney, if you like the Nutcracker, I'd say Mickey's Nutcracker is definitely worth watching at least once.